CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Brendan Purdy.
And we really want to make sure that we can make our streets that much safer.
Tonight on CTV News, slowing down speeders. We look at the province's plan to curb dangerous drivers after dropping photo radar. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. The province will soon roll out a new campaign targeting stunt drivers and excessive speeders. One city councillor says advertising doesn't go far enough, adding that more enforcement is needed. CTV's Connor Hogg reports.
We really want to make sure that we can make our streets that much safer.
The province says it will soon be making life more difficult for stunt drivers and street racers who post videos like these of vehicles speeding around others on Alberta roads. A new campaign starting later this month will aim to educate Albertans and encourage them to report risky behavior.
They know the way in which they can report speeding across the province, as well as try to make speeding or especially racing uncool, and to be able to target individuals that sometimes are going out on social media posting lap times.
I think the minister is backpedaling because it's such a deadly year.
There have been 22 deadly crashes in Edmonton so far this year, compared to 16 at the same time last year. After the province introduced new rules earlier this year, Edmonton got rid of photo radar. City Councillor Michael Jans says the province is playing politics.
We don't need more posters. We don't need snazzy radio ads. What we need is enforcement.
A lot of these racers or speeders or excessive speeders would have license plate covers or spray that they would put on their license plate, which would make photo radar completely ineffective in being able to give them any tickets.
Dreeshen says the province is working with law enforcement to identify times and locations where stunt speeding takes place. He says reports from law-abiding drivers will help identify those trouble spots. Political watchers question whether a campaign will be enough to deter those who already take measures to conceal their identity when they drive dangerously.
It would be important, I think, to message more clearly, not just that this is dangerous and problematic, but that there's going to be more effective enforcement.
Dreeshen says the province is working to make sure there is physical enforcement on major roadways.
Make sure that people understand and realize that driving is a privilege.
Dreeshen says the new campaign will run for 2 to 3 weeks, after which the province will evaluate its effectiveness. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
A man is facing sexual assault and kidnapping charges after a woman was assaulted in Blatchford. Police say last month, a woman got into the car of a man that she didn't know near 113th Street and Jasper Avenue. He drove her to a construction site in Blatchford where he sexually assaulted her and left her there before driving off. Police released a composite sketch in the hopes of identifying the attacker. Last Friday, police arrested a 30-year-old man. He's been released on bail with conditions including a 24-hour curfew, and he must surrender his passport. City councillors have rejected a proposal by the Paths for People group to close a section of 76th Avenue to vehicle traffic. The city is redeveloping the road where it crosses Mill Creek Ravine because the culvert under the avenue is crumbling. Last winter, Paths for People suggested closing the road to traffic. Leaders from 5 surrounding community leagues are against that proposal. Councillors say that stance influenced their decision to support the city's original plan.
What I heard fairly strongly from most of those residents is a desire to still have that connectivity from a group of communities that is very actively in desire of more active transportation, more mobility options.
The ultimate decision hasn't been decided on, but there are 4 options. They include simply replacing the culvert, building a new vehicle bridge and trestle bridge, or building one bridge for both cars and pedestrians. According to the evaluation criteria, the bridge and trestle replacement without a culvert carries the lowest environmental risk. A man in St. Albert says a stormwater pond in his city has been covered in trash for months. He says the garbage is coming from nearby construction sites in a developing neighborhood. As CTV's Nav Sangha reports, he wants more done to make it stop.
While on a bike ride 3 months ago, Brett Bokaway stopped at this pond in St. Albert's Riverside neighborhood and saw it littered with trash.
I noticed large piles of plastic insulation all piled up along the edge of this wetland.
He says it appeared construction waste from nearby development sites had blown in and around the pond. Bokaway says the city partially cleaned it up in early July. He also asked the developer to do the same, but Bokaway says the problem persists.
I counted over 100 pieces of construction garbage the other day, and there's big pieces of plastic, there's lumber in there, there's styrofoam in there, there's a ton of stuff that's still in the water. Thing, right? But like, you can see this giant thing in the wetland.
He's concerned about the wildlife here, especially the birds.
And there's all kinds of red-winged blackbirds that are in that pond over there, and they're busy trying to make their nests in the spring, and yet they're faced with all this construction garbage that's piling up there.
We see a disproportionate amount of animals being negatively impacted by refuse or trash sometimes from these sites that are being developed.
Wild North's Dale Guinaud says it's easy for birds to get entangled in plastic and trash. He says they'll use it to build nests or get caught in it when they duck their heads in the water to eat.
In one summer, I rescued 7 ducks from one stormwater facility in one summer with garbage around its neck.
Guinaud believes there should be stricter rules when it comes to managing trash at large developments. He also says people in general need to be more responsible when disposing their trash.
And if we're going to share our environment with these animals, we have to make sure we protect them by protecting their environment.
We need to do something when it comes to policy and enforcement so that developers and builders have to keep a handle on their garbage before it ends up in our natural areas.
The city of St. Albert tells CTV News it's aware of concerns and it's investigated. It says the pond is regularly cleaned by the developer Jen Starr and has also been cleaned by the city. It says it will continue to work with the developer to ensure the city is clean. Nav Sanga, CTV News, Edmonton.
Alberta's canola industry could be taking a hit with China introducing an anti-dumping duty. Alberta produces a third of Canada's canola. The rate will be set at nearly 76% effective Thursday. That's on top of the 100% tariff on canola oil, which was set back in March. It's a fresh escalation in a year-long trade dispute that began with Ottawa imposing tariffs on Chinese EV imports last summer. China is the world's largest importer of canola and sources nearly all of its supplies of the product from Canada.
Right now, it could be absolutely devastating. I woke up this morning, as most canola farmers did, seeing that we had lost about $1 a bushel in the value of our product that we want to sell this year. So, quite roughly, that's 7% of our income.
Alberta's agriculture minister calls the move a devastating blow to the province's agriculture industry. R.J. Sigurdsson says China is Alberta's second largest agricultural export market. He's calling on Ottawa to engage with China and restore market access. An Alberta rivalry is heating up on the provincial hardwood this week. Your Edmonton Stingers are set to tip off against the Calgary Surge on Thursday night for a do-or-die playoff game. The winner advances to the Canadian Elite Basketball League Western semifinal against the Vancouver Bandits. The Stingers enter the playoffs on a 3-game winning streak.
We haven't seen 3-game or 5-game series. There's not much tweaking between. It's you got to come and give me your best shot. We talk about that winner go home mentality. It's you got to leave it all on the floor in that one opportunity, and then if you're lucky enough to win, then you're on to Vancouver with the same sort of mindset.
The Stingers finished third in the Western Conference this regular season. Now Edmonton hasn't won a championship since claiming back-to-back league titles in 2020 and again in 2021. Now, Edmonton may not be getting any FIFA World Cup games next year, but you can still be part of the action without even buying a ticket.
It's a really, really exciting time for Vancouver and also for FIFA. This is the largest volunteer program of any FIFA event.
FIFA is putting out a call for volunteers in every host city, including both Vancouver and Toronto. About 3,000 volunteers are needed in both cities. Applicants must be at least 18 years old and be available between June 11th and July 19th of next year. Alberta will host royalty next month at Spruce Meadows. The Duchess of Edinburgh is coming to Alberta for the Masters in September. The show jumping tournament brings in competitors from around the world. Earlier this year, Spruce Meadows named Duchess Sophie as its royal patron. She'll be here in early September. Along with taking in some of the competition, she'll also visit a number of local charities supported by Spruce Meadows. The venue is on Calgary's southern limits. The Alberta Cancer Foundation Lottery is back for its 25th year with prizes bigger than ever before. Formerly known as Cash and Cars, this year's lottery includes more than 1,000 prizes worth more than $3.5 million. The grand prize winner can choose between three $1 million prizes. Every lottery ticket purchased helps researchers and cancer patients.
It's kind of a hit in the gut. Saw my life flash before my eyes, and just in a way I knew it was cancer, but I also didn't know obviously it was cancer. But I just think it's a horrible feeling, but I just feel like I had to fight harder for my life.
It supports directly patient financial assistance programs at the foundation, but also clinical trials operations across the province.
The grand prizes include a $2.8 million dream villa in Calgary, more than $2 million in cash, or an Edmonton home package worth up to $2.5 million. Tickets will be drawn until the end of November. The city of St. Albert celebrated Youth Day with a free drop-in event. Kids and teens ages 12 to 18 gathered at St. Albert Place and the Little White School to connect with each other. Organizations were also there to help them try some new things.
Because, yeah, and we planned out like this whole week to hang out. Yeah. You guys friends or? Yeah, we barely see each other.
It's kind of an opportunity for them to see what we have to offer for youth.
Activities included speed stacking, making magnets and keychains, Indigenous games, and watercolor bookmarks. Just ahead, paving the path forward. Several Alberta post-secondary schools come together to create paving stones out of construction waste. Plus, flying high again. A pilot in his 90s takes to the Alberta skies, a type of plane that launched his aviation career.
It's a long time since I've been in one, so I feel like I'm starting all over again.
Good evening, folks. Last really warm day that we'll see for a while. We got to 27 for a daytime high this afternoon. Rain and about 10 degrees cooler tomorrow. We'll talk more about all that in just a few minutes.
Welcome back, everybody. Several Alberta post-secondaries are teaming up to turn construction waste into paving stones. Red Deer Polytechnic, the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology, and a Calgary company are working together on the project. The two-year venture aims to create sustainable paving stones to address the growing environmental challenges of asphalt shingle waste. The project is being funded in part with a $450,000 grant from Emissions Reductions Alberta. Thousands of children from across the province are in Edmonton this week participating in the Alberta Indigenous Games. Sports being played include flag football, golf, and beach volleyball. CTV's Merrick DeCash reports on one of the more traditional events.
The concept of hand games might seem complicated at first.
Put your hand like this and people get to guess what side is the thing you're holding, and if it's right, you show them, but if it's wrong, you show the other side.
The game has been around for generations. Originally, it was used as a way to barter for food and supplies.
You got the corn, we've got this. You've got the buffalo hides, we've got this. So we played those games, and most of the times, they were one-on-one.
Now it's being played for a 6th year in a row at the Alberta Indigenous Games in a team format.
We've been able to share it with many, many nations. And so the favorite part is seeing all of those youth that come that have no clue what they're doing. And then when they're done, they're addicted and they want more.
12 First Nations are competing against each other for the ultimate crown. Some participants are as young as 8 years old.
I like the music that they play with the drums. It's fun because I get to play against other people.
In some northern communities, women are not allowed to play hand games.
As time evolves, it's absolutely beautiful, and I believe that it's very respectful that the women are allowed in that circle to be able to do that.
This week at the Indigenous Games, girls are a part of almost every team.
I think that it's not true because girls are so good at hand games, more than boys.
Merrick Takash, CTV News, Edmonton.
A 92-year-old pilot soared over Cooking Lake earlier today, flying the same kind of plane that started his career in the Royal Canadian Air Force. As CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports, the flight happened because of a chance meeting and an act of kindness.
It's been 70 years since Ron DeHolke flew inside a Harvard aircraft. He trained in this type of plane as a pilot in 1956 for the Royal Canadian Air Force.
The training program was leading to the fact that if there was a war, you're going to be able to fly a fighter, and defend your country, so to speak.
Last weekend, DeHolke struck up a conversation with pilot Brock Allison at the Cooking Lake Airport. It just so happened Allison owns the same type of iconic plane DeHolke once flew in.
Brock was nice enough to offer me a ride, so here we are.
Giving the former pilot a chance to fly again was a no-brainer.
People like Ron, are a connection with history. Here's a real live person that used to fly these planes and was training in the Air Force.
Standing beside the yellow plane turned the clock back 7 decades.
I've got that same feeling again today because it's been such a long time since I've been in one, so I feel like I'm starting all over again almost.
With a bit of help, he's back inside the cockpit. How do you feel?
Excited, just nervous, happy.
Ready for takeoff.
He still remembers the power settings that he would use for takeoff, climb, cruise, aerobatics.
Taking a try at the control wheel in the air, DeHolke is transported back to his 20s, grateful for a chance to relive his past.
Brock, I am so thankful I can't even express it.
A smooth ride all around, with only one regret.
I didn't want to do a loop. I should have tried one, but I'm chicken. But man, it was fantastic.
Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
After the break, when life gives you lemons, we learn about some young entrepreneurs who gained their business savvy from a lemonade stand.
And also, I think the key to success was teamwork.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. Temperatures a handful of degrees above average for your morning low and your daytime high today. This might be the last day above average, though, here in Edmonton until Monday or Tuesday of next week as some cooler air starts to settle in. We've got some scattered showers and thunderstorms across parts of the province. Heaviest, steadiest rain, though, for Edmonton looks like it'll roll in through the early morning hours tomorrow and then stick around right through the morning. Starts to break down, though, in the afternoon. So mid-afternoon, you've got some showers and thunderstorms here, potentially some severe thunderstorms in east central Alberta and for areas around Edmonton. It's mostly cloudy, starts to get a little gusty in the afternoon, but just occasional scattered showers as opposed to heavy, steady rain. There's more rain or showers on the way for late Wednesday night. It's more showers and thunderstorms as well further to the south. Thursday morning, still some lingering showers across the northeast, but will be drying out here in the Edmonton area. In fact, skies should start to clear late in the day on Thursday. 12 degrees in Fort McMurray tomorrow morning. Should be in the 13-14 degree range through most central and north central Alberta. In through northwestern parts of the province, you only get to 13 or 14 for highs tomorrow afternoon. 16 in Fort McMurray, about 19 in Cold Lake with some rain across the north. Chance of thunderstorms as well for Lloydminster and Red Deer, especially through the afternoon hours. And here in Edmonton, showers in the afternoon, but steadier rain in the morning, and occasionally there may be a few embedded thunderstorms in the area. Wind will gust to about 40 kilometers per hour through the afternoon, and we'll get to a high of about 18 degrees. Clearing on Thursday with a high of 19. Then back to 18 for a high Friday with some increasing cloud and a chance of some late day showers. Saturday as well could see an evening shower push through, but temperatures at least back into the 20s, it looks like through the weekend. In fact, daytime highs in the mid-20s by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That is your forecast.
The next generation of entrepreneurs in Kitchener are getting a little help from some local business owners. They're learning that when life gives you lemons, you need to come up with a business plan. CTV's Ashley Bacon explains.
Here you go, sir. Thank you. You're welcome.
Learning the foundation of operating a business.
And also, I think the key to success was teamwork.
Owen and his sister Emma have been operating a lemonade and snack stand in the Country Hills neighborhood of Kitchener. This summer, they've taken it to the next level, thanks in part to the team at local Dominos locations.
They come in with a lot of awesome ideas. We've had kids come in with posters before, drawings. I've had some kids come in with resumes, and they're just excited about it as we are.
They're partnering with local families to offer a slice of creativity while learning about entrepreneurship.
They gave us like the hats and the coupons, and they told us we could sell it for like how much we wanted. Our business plan was we were going to go out there with a smile and sell as much as we can.
For mom Brett Lee Jones, she's happy to see her children gaining new knowledge.
They also wanted to do things like selling freezies. So how much is a box of freezies going to cost? How much are we going to sell them for? And profit. So it was really neat watching them talk about that and, argue about pricing and stuff like that.
The team at Domino's Waterloo region and surrounding areas has been offering the mentorship program for the last 4 years, helping around 100 families develop their own lemonade stands in the process. A partnership giving these budding business owners the confidence to take on future challenges.
Because I like all the compliments on how much manners I have and how I'm a great entrepreneur. Lemonade, come buy some lemonade.
For young entrepreneurs like Owen and Emma, they get to learn skills along the way. But for the community, we get to cool down on a hot summer's day. Delicious. Ashley Bacon, CTV News, Kitchener.
There is more evidence tonight about the power of music and the positive impact on our health. Studies found that playing an instrument may protect against cognitive aging. CTV's Pauline Chan has more.
I've been playing piano since kindergarten.
The study by Claude Alain and others involved measuring the brain activity of 25 older musicians, 25 older non-musicians, and 24 young non-musicians using MRI.
One has to do as looking at the benefit of musical training and to what extent it improves perceptual and cognitive function in young adults, for example.
Normal aging is typically associated with declines in sensory and cognitive functions, and those age-related changes are usually accompanied by increased neural activity.
The finding was quite surprising. We thought that maybe what will happen with music training is that older adults may have more efficient activity and may even generate more activity that we thought could index some compensatory mechanisms. But what we found was the opposite.
In other words, the brain activity in older musicians did not have to increase to perform certain cognitive tasks. It remained more like that of a young adult.
Music training is helping you keep a younger brain.
I try actually to play a lot of the songs that I know in different styles. I'll play like a slow waltz thing in a rock and roll style.
And the research indicates that even years after musical training, the brain retains cognitive benefits. And even when music training starts late in life, it still helps, as do other lifestyle choices, such as learning a new language.
This is, I think, very exciting because you can imagine in terms of education that we should probably have music class the same way we have gym class, for example.
For Richard Parnes, the benefits are first of all enjoyment for himself and his audience, but the brain benefits are certainly welcome. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Oktoberfest celebrations will return to Ice District next month. The event gives people a chance to experience authentic Bavarian food, live music, entertainment, and of course, beer. They'll be serving up steins of German and local craft beer. There's also family-friendly activities offered during the day. It's the third year the Oilers Entertainment Group has hosted Oktoberfest. The festival runs over 3 weekends between September 11th and 27th. Pre-sale tickets go online Thursday with the general sale beginning on Friday. All right, folks, that's all from us tonight. Thanks for wrapping up your Tuesday with us here on CTV Edmonton. To catch all the latest information and breaking news in our city, check out our website at ctvnews.ca/Edmonton. Have yourself a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 11:30. Take care. Goodbye for now.